Hello and welcome to the AE86 Preservation Society. Today I would like to go over the installation of a bucket seat cushion, but this time I actually have hog ring pliers, so we're going to do it for real. So I'm going to try and do this in one take and we'll see how it goes. So the first thing that I like to do is I like to go through and check in each one of these hog ring areas and make sure that the old hog rings have been removed. Seat cover here, and we can tell that this is the passenger side because of this little ear right here, and the seat cover has a little slot for that. So the first thing I like to do is turn the seat cover inside out, and this helps with the installation process just by keeping excess material out of the way. So now that I have the seat cover inside out, I'm going to flip it over really quick and check that all of my listing wire is all where it should be. None of them are missing, or none of them are, let's say, poking out like this right here. So I want to make sure that everything's where it should be, like so. We've got our seat cover, fold this back, and we're going to make sure that our seams are laying right on these edges and also right here in the center. So I've got a hog ring installed, and I'm going to attach the first hog ring. So I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but I do a nice like a little jiggle down at the very end to make sure that the hog ring stuck, and that I grabbed onto the foam wire, or the wire I should say, that's embedded in the foam. So, and I'm using the previous holes from the old hog rings. So now that we've got the first one installed, we can see that that first seam has sunk down nicely where it should be, nice and deep. We're going to rotate that seat around, and we're going to work on the back portion right here. Again, we're going to make sure that our seat cover is nice and centered. Got our listing wire where it should be, and that the seams are hitting the corners more or less like they should be. And we'll go ahead and add some more hog rings. Again, starting in the center. This center one actually goes through the foam and connects directly to the metal frame of the seat itself. So I've got that first one in. Start at the left. Also start at the right, whatever you feel like. There's number 2. One more to go. Now, ideally, we want to hook the very edge of that listing wire. We want that to be in the fold of the listing, right down at the bottom, and we want to just barely hook that wire and connect it to the foam. All right, so we've got the back attached. Now we are going to pick a side and go ahead and fold the bolster back. I'm going to go ahead and push this listing wire down where it needs to be, so I can see where I'm going to connect my hog ring. Little jiggle to make sure that I got that wire that's embedded in the foam. Again, starting from the middle, working my way back. Hooking on just the end of that listing material. So you can see again that our pleats are looking nice and tight and embedded like they should be. And rotate the seat again, tuck in that listing wire where it needs to go, and add a couple more hot rings. Okay, a little further back, I'll find that embedded rod in the foam with my finger and feel it. And a little wiggle. Okay, now since I'm on this side already, you can see on these seats, there looks to be 3 spots. Toyota only used these 2 back ones. It looks like they changed their mind on this one. So we will just use the same locations that they did from the factory. So again, tucking the listing wire in. Just one. And last hog ring on this side. Tucking that listing in. Alright. So this is, I think, the part that confuses a lot of people. And what I do is I put my hand in this little pocket area right here. And then I put my elbow right on the center. And I pull that around. And the big thing that we're looking to do is make sure that all of this bulk material right here lays down on the same side. All of it on the same side, from the front of the seat all the way to the back. So pulling that over. Moving to the back, same little thing, smaller pocket. Making sure that all of our material's on the one side. And pulling that guy over. Okay, now we have part with the slot. We're going to go ahead and pull that over. And that's actually going to do a lot of the work for us. Get that pulled down. And we just about ready to flip this guy over. There we go. We're just pulling that guy down. Releasing some of the tension off of this seat here by pulling this seat down. Right, so we can already see that things are looking a lot nicer, and things are really going to pull together once I flip this over and attach the rest. So go ahead and flip this guy over. So I'm going to start in the center. So you can see that I'm putting the bulk of the material down here, and then I'm going to be folding it over. And I'm going to do that all the way across and around. So again, putting the bulk down. Okay, laying the bulk of material down again, hooking it. So you can see this little raised area here. I'm going to stick my finger down here and fold the bulk of the material down. And then flex our wire just a little bit, give us a nice even smooth look. Hey, I just wanted to hop in really quick and let you know that I sped this up because YouTube is only allowing me to do 15-minute videos, so I wasn't really saying anything too critical except for that I was working from the front of the seat towards the back and just double checking that the holes in the material for the bolts were lining up. Clamping that onto one of these springs right here. And this is just, these aren't like structural hog rings that I'm installing right here. These are just to keep the material out of the way. And believe it or not, this is how they came kind of from Toyota, and they just kind of fold like so, which I thought's kind of, I think it's really funny that they do it that way, but so, like so. I'm going to grab the material up like that. And we are going to do our last few hog rings. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over and we're going to work the material around. So one of the trouble spots that I like to do is just make sure that this area here is bent. Same thing right here, you can see it's a little wavy. And we're just going to go ahead and flex that. A lot of this will settle after a few heat cycles on a hot summer day. Again, we're just checking to make sure that all of that bulk material is on the side. Making sure that our slot is where it needs to be, which it is. And that wraps up this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you learned something from this little tutorial. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will do my best to answer it. Take care, guys. Have a good one.